What's up, everybody? Today we're watching Zach D Films, and you better like and subscribe for my hard work. Wait, no.
He wanted to go out, but his mom would not let him until he changed out of his tracksuit. So he stormed off to the backyard in anger and began digging the ground with a hoe. But the more he dug, the calmer he felt. So he kept coming back after school, digging deeper with a pickaxe and a shovel. Then his friend joined in with a jackhammer, and together they carved stairs 10 feet down. After about 4 years, the hole became rooms with arched ceilings, a stereo, and an oven, and a bedroom where his friends could hang out, all because of a tantrum and a hoe. He wanted to imagine there's poop in the middle of your bedroom. You still make your bed. Sometimes you even dust the shelves and scrub the floor around it. The room looks better and better, but the smell never goes away because the poop is still there. Now, this sounds ridiculous, but people will start a new morning routine, get serious in the gym, and do everything to improve their lives without giving up the one thing that would actually make the biggest difference. Now, some of these changes might improve your life, but until you remove the pile, well, you're still sleeping next to poop. When the hornet enters the hive, hundreds of bees suddenly swarm until the hornet is covered in layers of bees. Then they start to buzz, vibrating their wing muscles while holding on tightly. This movement quickly generates heat, raising the hornet's body temperature to 115 degrees. Within minutes, it overheats, while choking on the stale air until it's cooked alive in a blanket of bees. He called another kid fat at school, and when his mother found out, she handed him a plate and told him to throw it on the floor. It shattered into pieces. Then she gave him glue and told him to fix it. And after a while, the plate almost looked normal again, but his mother told him to apologize to it. The boy looked confused, but he did it anyway. Then she pointed at the plate. The apology didn't remove the cracks, it didn't replace the missing pieces, and it didn't make the plate what it was before. You see, when words hurt people, it can break them. And even if you apologize, some of those cracks will stay there forever. He called He was blindfolded and led into a small room, then told to take off all his clothes. Now, he had agreed to be on a TV show.
Nope.
If everyone's fighting over the last pack of toilet paper, just rip out a page of a phone book, crumple it up, and flatten it back out. Now, do this over and over for each page, and it'll weaken the connections between the fibers in the paper, making them soft enough to use when you poop. But if you flush it, it won't break down quickly enough, meaning it can clog your pipes. And if everyone did this, well, they could form giant fatbergs that would really back things up. If everyone's fighting, imagine you're talking to someone you really like. You've been texting for weeks. You get excited every time their name pops up. But then one day you send a message and nothing comes back. Another day passes, then another, and suddenly they're gone. That's when your brain starts replaying everything, trying to figure out what went wrong. You see, when someone says goodbye, or just tells you that it's over, the story at least has an ending. But ghosting doesn't. And psychologists have found that unfinished things stick in our minds longer than finished ones. So your brain keeps searching for answers to a question nobody ever answered. He laid 2 slices of bread on the ground in Spain. At the exact same time, a man in New Zealand did the same thing. But these guys weren't feeding birds. They had actually found 2 spots on opposite sides of the planet, then coordinated the exact moment. So one slice of bread was on top of the Earth, and the other was directly underneath it. Meaning for one brief moment, our Earth was a sandwich. If you spin a magnet under a cast iron pan, it'll push tiny currents through the metal. And as those currents move, the pan resists them. That resistance turns the energy into heat. So engineers took this idea, but instead of physically spinning a magnet, they used a metal coil under the glass. When electricity runs through the coil, it flips back and forth more than 20,000 times per second, similar to the spinning magnet. And when you place a metal pan on top, it'll push those tiny currents through the metal. The pan resists them, which heats it up and allows you to cook. If you spin a magnet under a cast iron pan, it'll push tiny currents through the metal.
I'm going to pause the video because I think something happened. I'll go fix your problem, right?